What's up YouTube, Do You Feel Lucky here, bringing you a video that's been a long time coming. I've talked about this a few times in the last couple Dragon Ball Super card game videos. And this is a deck profile that I've been playing with a little bit that I've actually been really enjoying. It's something that I decided to try out. I've been looking up some other people's deck profiles and things, so I decided to put one together myself to kind of see what I could synergize. And this is actually a dual color deck. So this is a blue and red deck, which is befitting because of the leader card, as you can see right here. But it's a really cool deck, and I wanted to go over with you guys and share it before the next set comes out. And obviously the meta is going to change, and there's going to be different decks and different things. Like this deck, I could probably still use when the next set comes out, and I could probably buff it with some of the new cards. But either way, let's jump on in this real quick and kind of go over this deck before we get into this new meta and new cards and new deck profiles and all this other stuff. So as you can see, the first off is the leader card, and it is Super Saiyan God Son Goku. This is the starter deck Goku. So he's God here, and then he evolves into Super Saiyan Blue. A little out with the outfits and stuff. So basically, why I used him, he doesn't have a downside, and that's actually why I used him. So his auto is, when this card attacks, choose one blue energy and turn it switch to active mode. So basically you get activated an energy multiple times. It just becomes really good with using energy, and I'm just gonna put this down here and get this out of the way because it's a little bit better. So it's actually really nice. And then when he evolves, he has that same skill, but it actually activates 2 blue energy, and then you gain plus 5,000 power if you have 5 more energy, which is most likely going to happen by the time you evolve this card. So, and it's only during your turn, but whatever. So it's a decent card, not super crazy, but it is hollow, so it looks shiny. But it's one of those cards that's like technically should be like a rare, and it doesn't have a downside and just some little bit of benefit, but it's here and I like it. It fits in well. The only other card that I was looking at doing, if I don't have one on hand right now that without looking too much, is there's the Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta that I was also thinking about running for this deck, but you could run that one if you wanted. And there's some cards I'll go over that are dependent on your leader. So you could run a red or blue leader in this deck, and there's only a couple things that you would have to switch if you were to do that. And I'll go over that when we get to it. It's really only one card in this deck. So either way, let's move on from there. So there's my leader is the Goku, is the starter deck Goku, which is really nice. So then the next thing we have is we have 4 energy boosts Majin Boos. So basically his auto, when you play this card, draw 1 card. Basically the key of this deck is draw power. You're drawing cards constantly, you have lots in your hand, and there's ways to produce energy. It's really nice. It synergizes quite well. There's probably a couple tweaks that I could make. I haven't had a lot of playtesting time, like I always say in my deck profiles. This is by no means a perfect deck. I'm not like this top tier player. I haven't like topped any tournaments or anything, but this stuff I do, and it seems to work well. I like it, and it works. And that's what I like about this game is the decks are very flexible with how you make them. Obviously there's certain restrictions with colors and things. If you make too many colors, different things, it's not going to work, but the decks are very flexible with what you can put in there and how you want to play them. So it's really nice. So I run 4 of these because the draw power from those is amazing, and it's a 1 cost, and it's there. And then the next thing I run are 4 1-cost Batamos. They're my blockers. As if you've seen my deck profiles before, I love my blockers. Blockers make the deck. I mean, they don't make the deck, but I run into so many situations that a blocker really helps you out. I mean, this may change in the future with some of the cards that are coming out in the next set that are going to kind of way to eliminate blockers, but they will still be beneficial, and they are here in this game for a reason. It is something that I like running. So the next card I run, nope, that's 1 extra, 3 Saiyan Kabbas. He's a good 1-cost. So basically, when this card attacks, you may choose 1 card from your life and add it to your hand. If you do so, this king gets to double. So basically, you get double strike for a 1-cost. I mean, it's not bad. It's just like kind of a 1-cost red card that I like having. And what I end up using these a lot for is red energy. But it's a card that if you need to come out to do something with it, you can do it. I might actually think about changing that in the future. Like I said, there's some tweaks that I may want to make, but he's there. He's not too bad. I mean, he does okay. I use him for red energy mainly. Now, the next card I have is I run 4 1-cost Senzu Beans. Now, this card is awesome. So basically activate this during battle. Choose up to one of your cards. It gains plus 5,000 power for the duration of turn, and then choose up to 2 energy switches on the active mode. Now, basically it's a free card if you think about it. So if it's 1 cost and you get 2 energy, you get the energy back +1. So basically you get +1 energy with this card. Now you can use this offensively if you want, but mainly defense. It all depends. It all depends on the situation you're in. So it's plus 5,000 power, plus you get 2 more energy. I like to use these finishing off attacks just to do it, just so I have my energy. So if I need to combo against my opponent or something like that, I've run a lot of situations like it's just very beneficial to have these and the energy production that you have. It's just nice to have that energy active, just like with this Goku. Like when I've played this deck, I always have energy active during my opponent's turn. Even if I somehow use 7 energy, I can manage to get more energy activated again because of these cards, and it's really nice. And it just makes better for plays and the things that you can do, especially if you have with this deck you have so many cards in your hand. So the next card I run 3 Bulma the God Tempters. Basically, this is to get a Whis. There's a 4-cost Whis that's in this deck. Basically, pull him out. That's the reason it's for. It's here, and you know, it's like one card, like it's one of those cards you get on the field. Certain things, combo, energy, whatever. Well, that's a good thing about this. The good thing about this game is like you can run cards, and they're not like garbage in your hand after X amount of time. You know, you can combo with them, or they become energy. Lots of things you can do, but that is just basically there to get a Whis, and it's nice. So then the final 1-cost card that I run is Vados Assistance. Now this is a card that isn't necessary in this deck. It's just there to have it in your hand since you draw so many cards. It's a counterattack, negated attack. It's a way to block something for 1 cost. Not bad. Yeah, I might even consider running more of these. It all depends on your playstyle and how you do. It's just ways to block attacks. This deck I find is very annoying to your opponents because you just have so much you can do against them in their turn that they can't do damage to you, that it just blocks them, and it wears down their resources for them to even try to damage you before they and then basically by then you basically are set up to, and then when that happens with the resources down, then you can just go into them and they really can't do anything to stop it. So. And it depends on your opponent too. I mean, some are good, better than others. So we're going to the 2 cost now, and now this is the card. This is a great card. Basically, I've learned recently, and a lot of people have gone in my comments below, is this. There's one color of these, right in series 1. There's one of these 2-cost attack. There's a green. The green is Trunks. The yellow, I can't remember who yellow is, and then red is, I can't remember who red is either. I have them in my decks, but they're basically when you combo with this card, if your leader is blue and your life is 4 or less, draw 1 card and add plus 10,000 to this card's combo. So this is a free, if you have 4 or less life, so whenever your leader is awakened, it's a free plus 10,000 combo, and you get to draw a card with this card. It's a free card, and running 4 of them is great. Now, this is the one card that I said, depending on the leader you choose between red or blue, that's the difference. Is because if you're running a red leader, you're going to want the red version of this card. And why can't I think of what the card is the red. I know I have a ton of them, and I just can't think of it right now off the top of my head. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Maybe I'll put it on the screen or whatever it is. But it's a great card. It basically, I probably want to run that every deck. So then, now this is a card that is pretty much a staple for any deck that has blue cards in it, and it is Objection. So choose up to 1 energy from your hand and add it to your energy. So basically, it's a 1 cost essentially after you have enough energy, because you basically get another energy reduced. So it's -1, whatever. But it's just ways to get energy down. Now this isn't something like, this is basically to set you up for your next turn. So like say, I've used these in a couple different situations. If I want to get like a 4 cost earlier on, maybe even a 3 cost, or late game, or even throughout the game, it just kind of boosts your energy up. But it basically can let you get that your boss card, as I like to consider them, out sooner, because you're adding more energy than you normally would. It's a great card if you have blue energy, because it obviously costs 1 blue energy in your deck. It's a great card to run no matter what, because it's a way to just add energy to your field. So the next thing I run should be no surprise for a 2 cost. It's Magetta. It's a blocker. It's another blocker. Just one of those things. I like my blockers in my deck. A little bit higher, power, so it takes more hits, and yada yada. And it also doubles as red energy. It's just one of those things, because I don't run a ton of red cards. Actually, it's more red cards than I think, but so. And then now moving on these are the last of the red cards, and I run the 2 cost hit. One reason I run this card is because I run the 6 cost hit that evolves from this. So basically, I run this card because that hit is phenomenal, and basically he's there. And it's a 2 cost, 15,000. It's a beater. You can use them. Trust me. It's a great card. I run 4 of them. It's good to always have them around so you can evolve and take advantage of that the 6 cost beast, which we will go over obviously once I get to it. So the next card I run is this is actually the one that goes with that Bulma. It's Whis, the Resident Attendant. When you play this card, add 1 card to your energy from the top of your deck. So basically, it's another thing that produces energy. It's nice. It gets energy on the field, and you know it's 4 costs. It's a decent card. It just adds more energy. I haven't used this too much, but it is what it is. That's what the Bulma's for. You get these out, add more energy. Basically, it's just stacking. You draw cards, stack your energy. Basically, how this deck works. It's pretty nice, and it just, you always have options, and that's what I like about it. So the next card I actually run 4 energy boost Beerus's. So 4 cost, double strike, obviously always a great time. And then when you play this card, if you have 5 or more energy, choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and KO it. So there is no limit to what kind of battle card you can KO. It is basically you KO that card automatically, which is nice. 5 more energy, which is going to be likely that you're going to get this card out. Obviously 4 cost, so yeah, not too bad. And with obviously you got lots of ways to get 5 energy, so this is a great card just to drop and get rid of those really annoying cards. Trust me, they will get there, and there are cards you want to get rid of. He is there for that. So the next card I run is Result of Training, which I'm debating if I like this card in the deck or not. So basically, it's a 5 cost card, and it says activate main, which is this is kind of where I'm iffy on it. During this turn, you can activate your card's leader if you have 5, even if you have 5 or more life. Then choose up to 4 of your energy and switch them to active mode. So it's a good card because realistically, it's only a 1 cost because you activate 4 energy after that, after you're done doing this. So, but the only thing is the likeliness. I mean, I guess it's possible. It's possible. That's why I only run 2 of these. That you're gonna have 5 energy to activate this, and also your leader card is not your life is at more than 4. It's iffy, so it's there. I have to play more decks to see more matches with it just to see if this is worth it, but not too bad. It can be useful because realistically it's a 1 cost, but you can't really use it until later in the game. So hit or miss. So now basically after this we're pretty much into the boss cards. So, and this is the first, kind of like the mini one. This is actually a starter deck card, so these are really easy to obtain. It's the Vegeta Prince of Speed. And so basically evolves from Vegeta, which I don't run any other Vegetas in this deck, so that doesn't matter. Has double strike, and when you play this card, if you have 5 more energy, draw 2 cards. Well, obviously you're gonna have 5 more energy because, well, guess what? 5 cost Vegeta, and you don't have any Vegetas to evolve from. So more draw power, 20,000, double strike. Great card, 5 cost, not bad. It's there, just kind of like that Beerus, that's a 4 cost. It's still pretty low double strike card. So the next card that I run is only 6 costs on the deck, lightning fast hit. So this is what those hits are for. I only have 2 of these. I might rework this. There's some cards you can take out or give. You might want 3 might actually be appropriate. You could even run 4 of these. So when this card evolves, your opponent takes 2 damage, no matter what. So if you evolve a hit into this card, your opponent loses 2 damage. Like, this is a phenomenal card. Whether it's taking out opponents' life with 4, they have 4 or whatever, or this can be a game ender because basically there's nothing they can do to block this card. It's just you evolve, there you go, you're done. 2 life, okay, well, you're done, you're out of life, you're out of life. So great card, I love this card. Definitely very useful, and it's really good because you can pair it with these other blue bosses. So this is actually, if you watched my last box opening, this is actually the first one of these I've gotten. This is the God Breaks Son Goku. I haven't actually really gotten a test with this card in the deck, but I added it because it's a good card. So he evolves from Goku, which we do. Do we have? Actually, I don't know if we have Gokus in this deck to evolve from, which is might be something I might remedy down the road. That there is a 2-cost Goku, blue Goku, that would fit in this deck pretty well. He has double strike. When opponent cannot activate counter and cannot activate blocker against this card. So it is a 7-cost, 30,000 power card that cannot be blocked or cannot be countered. So the only thing you can do to block this, to just prevent damage from this card, is Combo, which the reason why this card is so good in this deck is because the way this deck works is you're exhausting your opponent's resources for them trying to hit you or do different things, and they can't, and you will most likely have more resources than your opponent. So this card could most likely be your game finisher, maybe. But plus the next card that's in here, which I'm sure you can all guess what it is because it's a final blue card. So it's there because it's just something that is really hard to defend against. So finally, the last two cards in the deck are my 7-drop Beeruses. This is a phenomenal card, triple strike. And I'm sure most of you know what this does, but we'll go over real quick anyway. So auto, when this card attacks a leader card, your opponent may choose 2 cards from their hand and place them in the drop area. If they don't, choose all of your opponent's battle cards and energy and place them in the drop area. So now that's another thing that kind of combos with this card. It's just like I talk about resources. This thing is taken away. So it's either you're taking away from your opponent's hand resources, which is kind of hard, especially if you got, say, if you had these two on the field together, and I'm going to attack with this. You either lose 2 in your hand, or you lose your entire field, which basically will cripple an opponent. If they've lost their entire field, they're pretty much crippled. They're done after that. So that is basically what he does, and it's just basically you're taking advantage of whittling away your opponent's resources just so they can't stop the attack. They can't stop what you're doing. And triple strike is just disgusting from this card. Triple strike is just this disgusting ability in general. So that is the deck. It has been quite a fun deck. It's the first color combination. It's a little more advanced-ish. It does obviously have some tweaks as I'm going through this. There's some things I think that I might want to try to do or make some adjustments. Like I said, none of my decks are perfect. Like I said, I'm not like I'm competing with them or anything like that, but they are fun. So it is nice to have. So I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Dragon Ball Super content, which is obviously going to be coming this week because the new set drops on Friday, and I will have a box opening on the channel. Most likely on Friday, I will be going to my local card shop to go pick up a box, probably 2 boxes, one for myself, one for the channel, yada yada, just to get the cards. So that will be coming, and I believe there might be another video on Thursday the 2nd, because I think they're going to drop some more news on the website. Don't know what it's going to be. I'll see if it's video worthy or not, and if it is, there will be a look out for a video that day one way or another. So either way, guys, I hope you guys did enjoy it, but I'm going to get out of here. Before I do, remember, stay lucky.